Hello, everyone, and welcome to Region 3 6A Boys Basketball here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. I'm Nate Thatcher, happy to present tonight's contest between the Lone Peak Knights and the Skyridge Falcons. For Lone Peak, the Knights are coming off of their first win in region play against the predicted last-place finisher in Pleasant Grove. Tonight, they have not only the opportunity to stay ahead in region play, but to accomplish something they failed to do last season, beat the Falcons on their home floor. Lone Peak will certainly look to their star sophomore in Crew Fotheringham, who is coming off a dominant 25-point performance where he knocked down not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 shots from the perimeter. For Skyridge, they're looking to rebound after a tough region open loss at Westlake on Friday night, where they struggled to hit anything from outside. Senior forward Jordan Kohler continued to do his thing as he finished with 21 points, but he didn't get much help from the other starting Falcons as they stumbled to try and hit shots. Tonight, they have the crowd on their side, as you can tell, and they are fired up and ready to get back to their winning ways. Tonight's starting lineup, starting with the visiting Lone Peak Knights. It'll be the senior forward Ty Cogswell, Enoch Mitchell, averaging 7.8 points per game, Austin Simon, averaging 10.8 points per game, Jackson Taylor, the senior guard, who's a 90% free throw shooter, and then, of course, number 15, Crew Fotheringham, the sophomore guard at 6'6". And then for your home team, Skyridge Falcons, it'll be Hunter Sheffield, Zach Gagan, Joel Gardner, the junior guard who struggled in their last game against Westlake but is looking to rebound tonight, Ryder Gentry, and, of course, Jordan Kohler. We should be in for a doozy tonight here in Lehigh, Utah. Both of these teams in non-region play played in some pretty good tournaments. For Skyridge, they went to the Damien Classic in California, where they earned a second place in the bronze division, which is known as the middle division there. And they got 3 wins, only 1 loss out in California. Meanwhile, for the Knights, they went to the Fight for the Fight Hoop Fest in Pleasant Grove to start out the season, the Tournament of Champions at Corner Canyon, and then they actually went to the Arizona Hoop Hall Nike Tournament of Champions in Gilbert, Arizona, where they won 3rd place in the Coyote bracket. That tournament is put on by the Basketball Hall of Fame. It featured the likes of A.J. DeBonsa, the #1 commit in the ESPN Top 300, who actually committed to BYU just a few minutes south of here. But Lone Peak went on to play a few teams from Arizona. They went to play Highland, which is located in Gilbert, which is actually where the tournament was hosted, Central, another Arizona team, and then they beat Smoky Hill, a team from Aurora, Colorado. But we're back here in Utah. We're here in Region 3, and we're ready to go. And let's see if the Falcons can rebound or if the Knights can maintain control atop of region play. Thank you for tuning in here tonight. So happy to have you here with us. And this environment is getting rowdy. And the Falcons get the tip. So Gardner finds Sheffield. Here's Kohler left wing. Gagan's got it. Ball's moving quickly. Here's Joel Gardner. Thought about a 3. He'll pass it up. Instead, Gagan's got it left side. Now he'll drive middle. Gets a screen from Kohler. He'll kick it out to Jordan. Jordan wants a 1v1. Picks up his dribble. Now finds Sheffield. Shot clock at 10. Here's Kohler. Driving to the basket. Oh, a beautiful spin move down low. But it spins out. Gagan gets the rebound. Now he picks up his dribble. He finds Gentry, who kicks it out to Kohler. Kohler's going to move and dunk it down! What a start for the Falcons! Now here comes Lone Peak to try and respond. Ty Cogswell's got the ball left side. There's Crew Fotheringham, number 15. Finds Simon, a cutting jumper, no good. Kohler with the rebound. Here's Gentry moving in transition. A little bacon. He'll kick it back out. Here's Kohler. The crowd wants him to do some more. He'll hand it off. Joel Gardner for three. No good. And his struggles continue from the last game against Westlake. Fotheringham's being highly contested by Gagan now up by the logo. And he'll be fouled by Zach. Head coach Jeff Gardner is disagreeing with that call. He's in his 9th season with the Falcons, boasting a record of 117 wins, 89 losses. Meanwhile, on the other side, it's Rob Ross in his 7th season with 86 wins. Took over for Lone Peak after their last state championship, 2018. Here's Simon, moving right, picks up his dribble, finds Cogswell. He's going to go 1v1 with Kohler. Spin move down low, gets it to go. A nice 2 that time for Ty Cogswell. And they're going to pressure a little bit in transition and move off. It's a man defense. Here's Gentry, who picks up his dribble, right post, finds Gagan. Gagan dishes out to Gardner, thought about a 3, and then goes right in to Jackson Taylor, who's called for the foul. Joel Gardner has the most 3-pointers made in region play at 32. Also leads the team in assists per game, but he struggled last Friday against Westlake to hit from the perimeter. Here's Gardner with the ball right now. Full shot clock for them in the half court. He cuts down low. They're going to say the foul happened before the shot, so they'll inbound baseline. Foul will go against senior guard Austin Simon. So shot clock will regroup as Jeff Gardner tries to call out a play to his squad. It'll inbound to Kohler, deep by the logo. Just over 2 minutes here into this first. It's a 2-2 ball game. Here's Gagan, right wing. He'll take a 3, and he'll miss off front iron. But Gentry gets the rebound and is absolutely denied by Ty Cogswell. Falcons get the rebound again. A 3rd try from 3. No good. And they're going to call a foul on the floor, and that's going to go against the Knights once again. Ty Cogswell gets the foul pickup. Senior forward Ty Cogswell is a force to be reckoned with. He actually leads the team in blocks per game, rebounds per game, and steals per game. So once you get down into the post, he's someone you got to watch out for. So here comes our 3rd inbound play on this possession alone. It's down low to Josh Johnson, who finds Mosteller for 3 and rattles in and out. And Knights control finally. Here they are on their own side. It's Cogswell left side. He tries to go over the top, down low, but it's picked off by Gagan. They find Kohler in transition. He goes up with his right, but it misses, and Josh Johnson gets the putback and in. Josh Johnson coming off of a really good game in their first region contest out at Westlake on Friday. Here goes Cogswell, 1v1 versus Kohler, and he'll get the foul against Jordan. So both of these teams looking to get control down low in the paint early on. So that'll be Kohler's first foul of the contest. 2nd team foul for Skyridge. Lone Peak currently sitting at 3 team fouls. Cogswell gets the first of 2 to go. As I mentioned before, he's a force to be reckoned with in the paint. He's number 2 in all of 6A in blocks per game and number 6 in all of 6A in rebounds per game. He's able to use that size to his advantage on both sides of the floor as he gets 2 of 2 to go from the charity stripe. So tie ball game at 4. Lone Peak going to go with a full court press and an easy play down low. Foul not called as Enoch Mitchell found some heavy defense on him down low. Lone Peak takes the 6-4 lead. Here's Josh Johnson moving quick. Ball's tipped around, finds its way to Gardner. He's going to find Kohler in the corner for 3. He pump fakes, drives, goes up with his left and puts it in. Flexing over to the student section. Here's Simon quickly at the other end. He can't get it to go, gets his own rebound, goes up and gets fouled. Let's see who they call this on. It'll go against Josh Johnson. That'll be his first, but now 3 team fouls for Skyridge. So both teams equal on the fouling ground. Austin Simon, the senior guard, averages 10.8 points per game as the first one drops. Here at the line, trying to go 2 for 2. And he misses it. That ball stayed on that front rim for a full 2 seconds. But Lone Peak doing really good in transition. The ref had to think about it for a second before he called it. It'll stay here with the Falcons. So Skyridge will inbound baseline near the student section. Finds a cutting Kohler off of a screen from Gagan. Gardner will take that screen, but then hand it off to Zach. Zach stops his dribble on the right post. Dishes it out to Jordan, who's on the right wing. Under 20 now on the shot clock. Mosteller's got it. Finds a cutting Gardner baseline. Back out to Gagan. Spin move baseline for himself. He goes up with his right. Gets the bucket and the foul. Zach Gagan with a beautiful shot down low. And he'll get 3 points the old-fashioned way if he can convert right here. The junior guard averages 3.7 points per game. He's got 3 right there. And now it is a 9-7 Skyridge lead. Lone Peak looking to set up in the half court. They find Simon, who dishes it over to Mitchell. Lots of movement outside the ball, but the ball's not moving quite often itself. Finds its way over to Taylor, who finds Cogswell deep to corner wing. That's no good. Josh Johnson gets the rebound. He's heavily contested by Mitchell. This man defense is putting pressure on both sides as Cogswell picks it off from Kohler. And in transition, he dunks it down. This Cogswell versus Kohler matchup is living to the hype here in the first quarter. Coach Gardner calls out the play. Here's Jordan up top. Hands it off. Mosteller. Back to Kohler for 3. No good. Rebound out to Jackson Taylor. And he'll hand it off to Crew Fotheringham. Team leader in points per game. A little quiet right now in the first quarter. Oh, he's going to pull up for 3. And that's too far off backboard. Didn't catch any iron, but ball is tipped around. And that'll be a jump. That'll stay with the Knights. So some more subs will come in as Gentry and Sheffield come in. As Taylor, Cogswell, and Mitchell check out for the Knights. Sam Suarez in, as well as Drew Toulson. And Logan Brimhall will check in for Lone Peak. So Toulson looking to inbound. Finds Fotheringham. Full shot clock here. Toulson down low to Suarez. Suarez is double teamed. He'll throw a high pass back out to Fotheringham. He goes back over to Toulson. And now it's Simon for 3. Bullseye. And they're going to call a foul that will go against the Knights, I believe. Let's see here. Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be called against the Knights, but the 3 does count for Lone Peak. So they lead it currently 12-9. Koa Wallwork set to check in, but it's going to be free throws the other end by Ryder Gentry. Foul was against Austin Simon. That's already his second of the game. First one's up and in. Skyridge coming off their first back-to-back losses of the season. And they've also now lost 3 of their last 4. They're trying to get back to some winning ways here. But the second free throw is no good by Gentry. Good contest so far here in the first. Just hitting the 2-minute mark, and it's Lone Peak with a 12-10 lead. So here's Fotheringham. Gets a screen from Suarez. Now he's double-teamed. Finds Sam. Sam thought about a three, but now he's going to go down low. Dishes it out to Simon. Now Simon finds Brimhall. Brimhall's going to cut. He's going to go up left, and he misses. A fight for the rebound is won by the Knights. Finds its way to Drew Toulson. He gives it over to Fotheringham by the logo. Here's Toulson left side. He's trying to get it down low to Suarez, but good defense that time by Johnson. Sam's got it on top of the key. He declines the screen. Instead, he'll take it left side. Picks up his dribble. Now dishes it out to Simon. 15 on the shot clock. Spin move by Simon. Moving with his right. Tough shot up and in. Wow. What a move by Austin Simon. And now he's got the last 5 for the Knights. Lone Peak heavily contesting the inbound here from Skyridge. They're picking up that pressure fast and early. Here's Gagan. He's going to hand off to Johnson. Johnson's moving right. Here's Mosteller for 3. No good. Rebounds won by Sam Suarez. Now under a minute here to go in the first. Simon's moving quickly in transition. Cross-court pass Toulson. Here's Brimhall. Back over to Simon. Fotheringham. Oh, using those moves up from the top of the key. Dishes down low to Suarez, who's using that body for his advantage. And now he gets an easy 2 off the right side. So it's now a 6-point lead for Lone Peak. Wall work to Mosteller. He'll try another 3. This time he'll make. And that'll cut the lead in half. It's 16-13. 6 seconds left now in the first quarter. Lone Peak looking to get the last shot off. Toulson over to Fotheringham. Spin move, 3, no good. And that'll do it here for this first quarter. It's Lone Peak leading 16-13 against the Falcons of Skyridge. We'll be right back after this message from Big O Tires. Welcome back out to Lehi, Utah here at Skyridge High School, where it's currently the Knights of Lone Peak leading by 3, 16-13 as we begin the second quarter. Both these teams picked to finish near the bottom of Region 3. Skyridge picked to finish 4th, and Lone Peak picked to finish 5th. And in last place, it's Pleasant Grove, picked to finish last in 6th place. So Skyridge will start with the basketball on their own side of the court. And once again, that high-pressure defense is going to stay the exact same way here in the second quarter. Knights aren't letting up at all. And there's the steal from Ty Cogswell. Oh, behind the back in transition, but it's picked off from him and back over to Kohler. Kohler's going to slow things up. Now he's going to move over to his right. It's a 1v1 versus Cogswell. This is the matchup of the night. He goes up with his right, but it's over the basket and out. Suarez is found in transition on a long pass that time from Taylor. Suarez is down low. He goes up, and it's going to stay here with the Knights. No foul called with a lot of contact underneath the rim. And Lone Peak now inbounds. Here's Toulson for 3. Off right side, no good. And looks like a foul will be called, and that's going to go against Lone Peak. They just picked up Carson Mosteller and threw him down to try and avoid from him getting the defensive board. So Mitchell and Simon will check in as Toulson and Brimhall check out for Lone Peak. So Lone Peak still staying with this full court press. And there's Sheffield in that corner. That corner you have to avoid. And the ball will be tipped away, but it'll stay here with the Falcons. If there's anything about the full court press, it's avoid the corners. Easy double teams can happen. And Gardner tries to escape, but he's fouled that time by Jackson Taylor. That'll be his second of the game. So they'll inbound once again. Here's Gentry. He breaks the press. Spin move out to Gardner. Gardner's going to dish it out to Mosteller. He'll take another 3, and he'll make another 3. Carson Mosteller has now hit his last 2 from outside on the right wing. Here's Cogswell against Kohler. He dishes it out to Enoch Mitchell, who finds Simon left side. Back over to Cogswell, who's moving baseline. And it's tipped out of bounds by Kohler, but it'll stay here with the Knights. Taylor's got it, inbounding near sideline. Finds Mitchell, 15 on the shot clock. He gets a screen from Cogswell. Ty's got it now at the top of the key. He's thinking about a three. Now we're under 10 on the shot clock. Suarez has got to move. Finds a cutting Cogswell. Too hard off the basket, but Gardner can't control the rebound. Here's Taylor now moving baseline. Beautiful pass down low to Sam, who gets the easy two. Skyridge trying to beat this full court press. They're making a hard time of it, but Gardner goes up with his left hand, and he's fouled directly underneath the basket. He'll go to the free throw line for two. Joel Gardner averaging 13 points per game. He also leads the team in assists per contest. So he's really an offensive guard that can control in all facets. His first free throw is up and off the left side. So those offensive woes starting to creep in from these last few games into this one. Sheffield checks out. Zach Gagan will come back in. And Suarez will come out for the Knights as Crew Fotheringham comes back in. Gardner trying to convert the second to two and does. So he'll go 50% from the line on that trip. 18-17 lead now for Lone Peak. Fotheringham looking to get a screen from Cogswell. Now he's just going to go 1v1, but he's going to push off. And that'll be an offensive foul against Crew. Tried to create too much space, and the foul will be called on offense that time. So Knights still staying with that full court press. They find Mosteller on the right side. He's heavily pursued on the timeline. Finds Kohler on the right wing. Here's a cutting Gagan. Finds open Joel Gardner for three. Got it. And Skyridge retakes the lead at 20-18. But a foul will be called against the defense in transition. Carson Mosteller will pick up the foul. That'll be his first of the game. And another foul quickly picked up by Ryder Gentry. So that's now 3 team fouls against Skyridge. Four already on Lone Peak here in the second. So they're having some happy whistles here in this second period. Here's Mitchell. Over to Simon. Cutting baseline. Going up on a tough contest and getting the bucket to drop. Here's Mosteller over to Gagan. Gagan's got it wide open. Instead, he'll dish it off to Kohler for three. No good. Crew Fotheringham with a tough rebound. Knights have numbers. Here's Simon in transition. Another easy two. Austin Simon on a roll right now. And another foul will now be called against the Knights. And I believe that'll put the Falcons now at the line in the bonus for the rest of the quarter. We've just hit the 5-minute mark. And a timeout will be called. We'll take it with them. We'll be right back after this short message. Welcome back to Skyridge High School at the end of a quick 30-second timeout for both of these squads. It's Lone Peak currently leading 22-20 thanks to some back-to-back layups from senior guard Austin Simon. Both teams seem to be well balanced across the board, but something that may come into Skyridge's favor right now, they're already in the bonus with 5 minutes left here in the second quarter. And only 2 team fouls for the Falcons. So right now, if they can take advantage at the charity stripe, they might be able to garnish a little bit of a lead here. Joel Gardner back at the free throw line after going 1 for 2 his last time out. He converts the first of 2. So the second one here to tie, and he does. So here comes Fotheringham in transition. Gets a screen from Cogswell, who pops a three. Hops around and out, and now the Falcons will control. They find a cutting Gagan in transition. Over to Mosteller for another three. Bingo! Carson Mosteller's on fire from the perimeter. Here's Fotheringham. 4.5 now left here in the second. Here's they try to find Cogswell cutting from left to right. It'll be tipped out of bounds by the Falcons, but it'll stay here with the Knights. So Enoch Mitchell will check out. Brimhall's back in. And a single line formation here for the Knights. It's inbound to Crew Fotheringham as he takes a deep two. It rattles out. Kohler gets the rebound. Gentry's now pursued near the timeline. And he's fouled by Ty Cogswell. And that's going to be huge as Cogswell picks up his first foul, but that's 16 fouls now in the second quarter. That sends Gentry back to the line. And they can increase this lead up to 5. And the first one is up and in. And the second one also connects. So Skyridge now has a 5-point lead. So here's Fotheringham on the right side. He gets a screen. He'll decide to pop up a three. It's way overboard, and it'll head the Falcons' way. So Falcons looking to inbound off baseline. They find Gagan in the corner. He is pursued by 4 Knights, and it'll be off the feet of Logan Brimhall. It'll stay with the Falcons, but man, everyone in black is pursuing the basketball when they're in defense. 27-22 is our score. 3:54 left here in the first half. Gardner gets the inbound, and now the Knights will back off. Here's Mosteller, who's been on fire from the perimeter. He finds a cutting Jordan Kohler. It's a 1v1 versus Cogswell. He's going to take it. Spin move under the basket and in. Too easy for Jordan Kohler. And now the lead is 7. Cogswell over to Brimhall. He finds Amberry, who's in at the game. Now here goes Cogswell. He thought about dunking it, but he thought too late and he misses. And it'll go back Skyridge's way, so a critical error on Ty Cogswell's part. That'll cost him an easy 2. And another sub will come in for the Knights. It's Cole Catton checking in. And Gagan's got it baseline. Now he's pursued heavily once again. He's got to break it. He does. Here's Mosteller in his favorite spot. And he hits again. They can't control him in the right wing. It's a 10-point lead now for the home squad. Here's Caton. Caton's now pursued by Gardner, and they're going to call that against Joel. That's the 13th foul now against Skyridge. So a 32-22 lead right now for Skyridge. Just under 3 now left here in the first half. Fotheringham gets the screen. He'll take a spin around Jay and he'll hit. And that's the Crew Fotheringham that's been missing for most of this first half. Once again, Falcons break. Here's Kohler underneath the basket on a one-on-one, and he hits. And he's letting Lone Peak know he can't miss underneath there. Back up to a 10-point lead. Here's Fotheringham. He's guarded closely by Gagan. Amberry's got it far side. Ball is tipped around. Falcons got it, and they've got numbers. Here's Gagan. Over to Kohler for three. No good. Johnson's fighting for the rebound. He's got it. He finds Mosteller. Now Gardner will try it. He's off left side. A third opportunity for Skyridge. And now they hit. And it's no one else but Carson Mosteller. And the Knights are going to have to take a timeout to try and extinguish the fire that is number 33. We'll be right back after this short message. Here back at Skyridge High School, where the Falcons are on fire thanks to junior forward Carson Mosteller, who cannot miss from outside. 1:51 left to go here in the first half, and number 33 in white is just on a heater from the perimeter. Lone Peak is trying to pursue heavily on a full court press on defense, but once the Falcons have found out how to break it, they then have opportunities as they have their wing players move to the outside and then Kohler cutting down low, so they have many opportunities to get open looks. And then on that last possession, they've just been able to get offensive rebounds and give themselves multiple opportunities at their same side of the court. So they lead at 37-24. And a pass tries to find its way to Toulson, and instead it hands it right over to Zach Gagan. In transition, layup good. Skyridge has all the momentum right now here at home. Here's Toulson for three. That'll help. Drew Toulson for three connects. And it looks like a foul is going to be called once again against the Knights. It'll go against Suarez down low. That's his first. But once again, we're just walking over to the other side of the court, and the Falcons will shoot some more free throws. So Ryder Gentry will head to the line. Junior guard who averages 7 points a game as he hits the first one. And that'll take their total up to 40. Second is off back iron, but finds its way back over to Gagan. Here's Kohler underneath the basket. He's double teamed. Gagan for three. He connects. And now they're up to 43. And now it's stolen by Zach. And it's tipped away, but it'll stay here with the Falcons. So Zach now helping his team not only maintain their lead, but extend it. And immediately Crew Fotheringham checks back in for Drew Toulson. So Mosteller were inbound near sideline. Gardner's got it. We now have under a minute to go here in the second quarter. Gagan tried to find a cutting Kohler baseline. He does. Spin move down low. It's short. He gets his own rebound and misses the putback. And it'll be tipped and out of bound on Jordan as he's questioning the ref's call, or should I say no call, as he had lots of contact down low. So Sheffield will check back in for the Falcons, as well as Isa, and I don't want to mess up his last name, but he goes by Logo, and he'll check in, number 4 in white. Gardner will take a rest as well. So here's Simon trying to get something going for his Knights. He finds his cutting teammate in Broadhead, but it's going to be out of bounds off his body, and it'll head back the Falcons' way. So now there's exactly a 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And more subs will come back in for the defensive side of the ball. It'll be Simon and Taylor checking out. But it looks like Caton and Anberry will come in for the defensive side. Mosteller looking to inbound. Finds Sheffield. Try to get a bounce pass back to Carson. It'll be tipped away. Controlled by Skyridge. So once again, they're trying to force him into that corner, and it's making some tough plays. Now here's Isa. Isa tries to go cross court, but it's tipped by Sam. Saved somehow by Caton. Ball's tipped around. Finds its way over to Trey Anberry. who tried to find a cutting broadhead, but it's taken back by Skyridge, tied up, and I believe this will be a jump ball call. And actually, it will be a jump ball, and it will be the Knights' possession. So now, Lone Peak will send back in their offensive players as they now can get the final say on their own side. Quick pass over to Simon. Oh, they're going to take a quick shot. It's no good. Broadhead tries to get the putback. Ball is tipped away, but it'll stay here with Lone Peak. 16.1 now left on the clock. So Brimhall inbounds, finds Suarez. Suarez going one-on-one with Gentry, and he will win. Took a few times to rattle around the rim, but it goes down. Now here come the Falcons in transition. Only a few seconds left. Isa tries to go cross court. Instead, it's Simon from half court. Too strong. And that'll do it for the first half. Skyridge coming from behind and taking a massive lead into halftime. 43-29 is our score. And we'll be right back after this short message from Big O Tires. Lehigh, Utah here at Skyridge High School, where it's the Falcons currently leading the Lone Peak Knights 43-29. Thanks to some stellar shooting from the outside led by junior forward Carson Mosteller. He's been absolutely terrific. Lone Peak has thought to pressure early on in a high-pressure defense that goes the length of the court. But the Falcons had some struggles early on, and once they knew how to break it, they were able to find some wide-open wing players for a three or to hit it down low to their star player in Jordan Kohler down low. We're getting ready for some third quarter, second half action here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. Nate Thatcher here is your play-by-play commentator. Happy to be presenting this terrific Region 3 game to you. Skyridge looking to get their first region win after losing a tough battle against Westlake on the road. Their second quarter in that contest was the worst of the season. They only had 7 points. You contrast that with this last second quarter where they exploded for more than 20 points. That has to be a big difference. Well, I'd also say the difference is obviously the three-point shot. In their last loss at Westlake, Jordan Kohler was the only player to make a three-point shot, and he only hit 2. Mosteller, on the other hand, hit 4 in the first half and got things going early and quickly. So let's see how both of these teams fare in the second half, what kind of adjustments the Knights can make. Can the Falcons regain control? Can they take control? Not only that, can they extend their lead? We're about to find out right now. So Skyridge gets the ball first. That high-pressure defense is going to stay the same, but Gagan will take a three. He'll overshoot. And Mitchell will control with the rebound. It's a man-on-man defense here for the Falcons. Here's Austin Simon, who finds Crew Fotheringham. Had a relatively quiet first half as the star player for the Knights. Taylor had it for a moment. Now it's back to Fotheringham. 15 on the shot clock. Ball hasn't moved away from this right wing. Now it does. Cogswell's up at the top of the key. It's a 1v1 versus Kohler. He'll hand it off to Taylor. Taylor draws a double. Back to Cogswell. 5 on the shot clock. Simon's going to drive. Turnaround jumper. Tough and no good. And they're going to call a shot clock violation and a great defensive opening for this Falcons squad. This full court pressure will stay the same, but now it eases off. Here's Gagan across the timeline, back to Gardner. Gentry's got it wide open down low. Back out to Zach. Zach bounce pass to Jordan. Beautiful reverse underneath, can't find its way down. He gets his own rebound. He tried to throw it off of the legs of the Knights, but his toe was out of bounds, so it's going to go the Knights' way. So here comes Lone Peak. Knights moving left to right in their road blacks with maroon trim, white numbers. Skyridge in the home whites with orange trim. And here's Cogswell moving baseline. Beautiful reverse, can't go. Kohler gets the rebound. It's tipped off Taylor. but it'll stay with the Falcons moving the other way. So a scoreless third quarter so far, a minute and a half here into the third. Here's Gardner. He finally gets across the timeline. Quick pass over to Gentry that finds its way to Gagan. Cross-court Mosteller. That's his favorite spot. But this time it's off the side of the backboard. Not close. Here's Gentry. Out to Gardner for three. No good. Rebounds fought for. And it looks like a foul is going to be called against Jackson Taylor. And he is making his case loud and proud to the referee down low. That's his third foul of the game. So one more in this quarter might put him in trouble. So Falcons will inbound off their own baseline. Full shot clock, 6:14 now left here in the third. So Gagan looks to inbound. Beautiful pounce pass to Gardner, which finds its way out to Carson deep by the logo. Now back out to Joel near the half-court mark. He wants a screen from Kohler left and says he's just going to dish it off to Jordan. Jordan's got a 1v1 versus Cogswell. He's using those moves. Spin move to his right, and it looks like he picked up his pivot foot and traveled. Gets a nice friendly pad from Coach Gardner. Clearly he's happy with his team right now, even though they didn't score that time. Still scoreless here in the third, but it's also a 14-point lead that has stayed consistent for Skyridge. Here's Mitchell on right wing. Now he's going to go 1v1 versus Gentry. Picks up his dribble, finds Cogswell right. Here's Taylor getting a screen from Cogswell. Now back over to Ty. He'll take a three at the top of the key. It's no good. Ball is bouncing around crazy, and they'll call a jump. That'll stay here with Lone Peak. So now the Knights will inbound off their own baseline. They need to get something going here, and they need to get going quick. They find a quick pass down to Crew Fotheringham right side, and he gets the two up and in. Great start for Lone Peak on the offensive side. And ball is tipped out of bounds, but stays with Skyridge. They still have yet to score now here in the second half. And now it looks like we've got another shot clock malfunction. It'll reset to 30. Here's Gardner. Heavily contested by Mitchell. A post pass over to Gentry. He splits the D, goes up with two, and puts it in. So a nice response by the Falcons to put the lead back where they had it, 45-31. Hard screen by Cogswell in transition. And it's Mitchell over to Taylor for a deep three. He hits. Jackson Taylor gets a nice three from the outside. Here's Kohler. He's going to go quick down low, and he's fouled by Ty Cogswell. So Kohler will head to the line for two. Jordan is really an all-around player. He ranks number 2 in 6A in rebounds per game, number 1 in 6A in double-doubles. He's had 5 as the first one drops down for him. And he's also number 7 in 6A in blocks per game, averaging almost 1 per contest. He gets the second of 2 to drop. Skyridge plays tough in their losses. Their average margin of loss is less than 6 points, and their average margin of victory is more than 13. And if this game stays consistent, that statistic will stay the same after tonight. So now the Knights will restart their possession off of sideline. Here's Mitchell. Heavily contested by Gentry. Now he's going to spin move down low. He kicks it out right wing to Cogswell. Hand off to Fotheringham. Thought about a deep 2, instead he'll pass it out. Here's Enoch. Enoch does that same spin move. He drops Gentry, gets the bucket, and the foul. What a move that time by Enoch Mitchell. So number one's able to get 2 on the board and now potentially 1 from the free throw line. His first and only is up and down. And they're staying with this full court press and a beautiful tip pass by a diving Crew Fotheringham. And Rob Ross is loving that effort. Falcons looking to inbound. They find Gagan. Gagan's trapped. It's a double team. He's moving the wrong way. Now he finds Mosteller. Mosteller's going to move. Now he slows things down. Back out to Zach by the logo. 4 minutes now left to go here in the third. We're halfway through. Here's Mosteller. Has yet to hit here in the second half. He was on fire there in the second quarter. Gardner gets a nice screen from Kohler, but he misses a 3 once again. Gentry with a beautiful offensive rebound and a put back up and in. So the lead back up to 12. Here's Simon left side. Simon's now going to move left to right. He finds Fotheringham. They're trying to get it down low to Taylor. Instead, it's cross court to Cogswell. 15 on the shot clock. Here's Simon cutting down low. Oh, he just absolutely put his shoulder and then steps over Mosteller. Wow. A no call on that. That gets called every time in the NCAA rank, but not here tonight. So now Skyridge will slow things down on their side. Kohler thought about a 3. Pump fakes, but now it's off his foot. Ball is lost, finds its way to Cogswell before it's a jump ball. Here's Ty. Can he get something going? It's a dish off to Crew. Crew picks up his dribble. Mitchell for 3. No good. Kohler with the rebound. Now he's going to move. Senior hands it off to Gentry, who finds Gardner. They're still slowing things down. Less than 2.5 now left to go here in the third. Kohler's got it left wing. Dishes off to Gardner for 3. Can he hit? No. Lost his footing, thought he was fouled. No call will remain. Fotheringham off to Simon. Simon down low to Crew. Now Crew's got a one-on-one. Tried for a spin move. Instead, he's going to take a tough J that doesn't fall. Now here come the Falcons. It's Gardner moving. Mosteller, 3. No good. Gagan tries to get the rebound, and a foul will be called against Simon as he fought with Zach to try and get that ball off the missed shot. Actually, that's going to be called on Gagan. That'll be his second, so Knights will get the ball. 2 team fouls apiece as Carson Mosteller checks out and Josh Johnson checks in. Sheffield will also come in for the Falcons. Sam Suarez now in, as well as Trey Amberry for the Knights. Here's Amberry right side, finds Cogswell. And Amberry had a beautiful cut down low, but he couldn't corral the pass. Luckily, it's off of a Skyridge foot. It'll stay here with the Knights, so they'll have another opportunity. 1:44 now left here in the third. High pass down low, Sam Suarez baseline. He'll spin move across. Now he'll go one-on-one with Johnson. He'll go up tough, and he'll put it down. So Sam Suarez immediately checks in and gets going down low in the paint. That cuts it to an 8-point game. Here's Gagan in transition. He's blocked by Cogswell. But the Falcons get the rebound. They're going to slow things down once again. Here's Gagan, right side. Finds Gardner left. 10 on the shot clock now. Gardner's going to cut. He finds Sheffield in the corner for 3. He hits. Hunter Sheffield puts in a quick 3. Now here's Simon the other way, and he immediately responds. And now it looks like a stoppage of play. Looks like subs are coming in as Gagan checks out. Mosteller comes in after a quick trip on the bench. It'll stay here with the Falcons. So stoppage of play comes back. Here's Mosteller in transition. Tried to find Sheffield, but it's an errant pass that now goes back the Knights' way. So single-digit deficit. They're cutting slowly into this one. Let's see if they can make it a little bit more. So John Mosteller now comes back out, as well as Josh Johnson. Gentry back in. So some quick trips off the bench for a lot of these Falcons players. About a six-second difference between shot clock and game clock as Simon goes up tough with a right-hand floater. It can't go, but he's fouled on that shot attempt, so now he goes to the free throw line for 2. So Simon back at the charity stripe. And if he makes both of these, it's only a 7-point game. Rattles in the first. Second one is up. And no good, but they get their own rebound. Now Cogswell's got it. And they'll set up the half court. Shot clock turned off. Coach Ross only wants one shot. So they can either cut this to a 6 or 5-point game. Taylor, step back. Picks it up, throws over to Cogswell, who finds Simon left side. They're trying to get it down low to Suarez. Simon's going to drive baseline. Kick it out to Sam. Now Sam's driving. Sam goes up with his right. It's no good. Mosteller's got it. Cogswell steals, throws up a prayer. It doesn't fall, but that'll do it for this third quarter. It goes from a 14-point Skyridge lead to an 8-point lead as we head here into the fourth. Should be a doozy on the other side of this Big O Tires message. Welcome back into Skyridge High School as we get ready for what should be a very exciting fourth quarter. Nate Thatcher here for the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. The Falcons led by 14 at half, but the Knights were able to cut in little by little for that deficit to slowly move its way down to now just 8 points. But the Falcons will start with the ball here on the near sideline at half court. Thank you for tuning in wherever you are as we see the Falcons pull it off across the timeline. Gagan picks up his dribble, but a beautiful bounce pass finds his way to Sheffield, who bobbled it. But Kohler's now going to drive it himself. He goes up, he's fouled, and he gets the shot. Jordan Kohler. Undeniable at the rim. And that puts the lead back up to 10, so exactly the start you'd like if you're a Falcons fan. And here's Jordan to get 3 the old-fashioned way. He can't. Suarez gets the rebound. He finds Fotheringham. Over to Mitchell on the right wing. High pass down low to Fotheringham. Tried to go one-on-one. Now he does, and he gets it to go down. Ball was bobbled away by Gagan for a second, but he recontrolled and got it back. Here's Sheffield for 3. No. Fotheringham gets the rebound. And now the Knights get a nice easy bucket in transition. (54-48) our score. So now just a 2-possession game. It was the perimeter shooting that helped them garnish a big lead there in the second, but they haven't hit one in a while, and as such, this lead has started to dwindle. Here's Kohler. A 1v1 versus Fotheringham. He's going to spin move baseline, go up with his right. He can't get it to go. Ball's tipped around, and now Mitchell's got it in transition. He picks up his dribble and hands it off to Cogswell. Here's Mitchell. They're going to slow things down. He picks up his dribble high, finds Cogswell once again left side on the perimeter. A cutting Simon baseline. finds his way under the basket, spin move, misses the shot, gets his own rebound, puts it up. He can't get it to go. Ball is tipped out, finds its way to Sheffield. Sheffield's going down. Tries to get a high pass to Kohler. He does. Jordan goes up, tries to get the layup. He can't convert. And here come the Knights once again. Fotheringham in transition. Oh, beautiful fake up at the perimeter and dunks it down. Lone Peak is on the move, and it's a 4-point game. Quick timeout called. We'll take it with them, and we'll be right back. Nate Thatcher here for KSL Sports Rewind. Skyridge led by as much as 16 in the first half. They had a 14-point lead going into the break, but Lone Peak kept cutting away, and now they find themselves down only 4 as we head in to the final half of the fourth quarter. Fotheringham just put on an absolute highlight, dunking it down to cut it down to this 4-point deficit they currently find themselves in. Meanwhile, on the other side, it's Jordan Kohler that's trying to keep the momentum for the home squad, but the perimeter shooting has failed to keep up with where it was at in the second quarter, where they found themselves hitting almost everything, mostly led by 33 Carson Mosteller. Here's Mosteller himself. Finds its way back over to Gentry, and the Knights are keeping that high-pressure defense going all the way across the court. Gardner finds Gentry in the post. He's going to move left to right. Bounce pass over to Kohler is tipped out of bounds, and it'll stay here with the Falcons. Ty Cogswell had some words for the ref, but his teammates were pushing him off. They don't want to get punished because they're finding themselves with a lot of momentum. Here's Gardner for 3. He can't make it, but it'll be a foul that'll go against Enoch Mitchell. So, second team foul for Lone Peak. Mosteller gets the inbound pass off left side. The shot clock has been reset. Here's Gagan right side. Thought about a screen from Kohler. Instead, he'll bounce pass down low baseline to Jordan. Jordan's going to take a mid-range jumper, and he can't get it. It's too short. Here's Fotheringham. They can cut it down to 2 or 1. Here's Cogswell left side. Finds Taylor for 3. He rattles it in. It's a 1-point game. They have stormed all the way back. And the Falcons are going to have to come up with something quick. This game is back to where it should be. A 1-point score. Here's Mosteller at the top, finds Gentry right side. 15 on the shot clock. Ryder's not going to move. Instead, he fakes it out. Here's Gagan for 3 to answer. It's short. Mosteller gets the rebound. They'll reset. Gardner calls out the play. Kohler's got it left block. Finds Carson cutting for 3. It's short. Rebound finds its way to Mitchell. Lone Peak can now take the lead, but the pass soars over Taylor's head, and Jackson's telling him to cool down just a second. So Skyridge catches a break. 4:14 now left in the fourth. Gardner's calling for help as the Knights are pulling the pressure up big. And Lone Peak will take a timeout. We'll stay right here. 54-53 is our score. Lone Peak currently trailing by 1. They have cut this all the way down to a 1-point game, if you can believe it or not. So if Skyridge can hold on, they'll now go to 1-1 and force Lone Peak to also move to 1-1. But if Lone Peak is able to turn the tides, they'll stay undefeated in Region 3, and Skyridge, with all the momentum in their favor in the first half, will have moved to 0-2 in region play. Next up for both of these squads, starting with Skyridge, they'll be at Lehigh this Friday at 7:30 p.m. And then next Tuesday, they'll stay on the road and be at the Vikings of Pleasant Grove, who Lone Peak just beat on their home floor last Friday. For the Knights, they'll be at American Fork on Friday And then they'll play Lehigh, but at home next Tuesday, the 21st. Both of those times also at 7:30 p.m. So both these teams, as I mentioned in the first half, picked to finish near the bottom of Region 3. Skyridge in 4th, Lone Peak in 5th. But both of them giving it everything they got to try and get another win here in a competitive Region 3. So Falcons will inbound near sideline. They find Gardner near baseline. He's pressured heavily by Simon, but he's able to move it past the timeline. It's a man defense now for the Knights. Here's Gagan. Finds a cutting Kohler. It bounces off his shoulder, and it's a turnover. Here come the Knights. They can take the lead. Mitchell, left corner. Finds Simon down low. He's going to wrap around. He's going to go up with his right. A tough jumper. Can't fall. Rebound's fought for. Mitchell wins. High pass over to Taylor for three, and the lead. Yes! Jackson Taylor. And Lone Peak now leads it 56-54. Mosteller to take it right back. He can't do it. Cogswell with the rebound. 3:20 now left in our game. Lone Peak has taken over. Oh my, Taylor from almost half court. He was feeling it, but he misses. Here comes Joel. Gardner hands off to Kohler. Kohler's at the logo. Kohler dishes it off. Gagan's got it. Picks it up at the free throw line. Now here's Gentry. He dishes off. Gardner for three. Yes! Joel Gardner finally gets a triple to hit, and at the most crucial time of the game. Lead back up to one for Skyridge. 2:44 now left here in the fourth. Home crowd now picking it up. Fotheringham gets a screen from Cogswell. Now hands it over to Simon, right side. Here's Fotheringham, top of the key. He's going to go right to left. Spin move, Jay. Off back iron, no good. Rebound fought for, won by the Falcons. Gardner heavily pressured by Crew. Now he pushes. Falcons have numbers. Here's Gagan. Over to Mosteller. He'll slow things back up. And it looks like a timeout will be called by Skyridge. And we'll take it with them. 2:08 left here. Falcons lead at 57-56. We'll be back after a short 30 message. Welcome back into Skyridge High School, where we have an absolute cinematic finish waiting for you on the other side of this timeout. The Falcons led by 14 at half, but a comeback led by a whole host of Knights, but most recently, Jackson Taylor from the perimeter soared them back to take a lead at 56-54, but thanks to a three from the leading three-point maker in the region, Joel Gardner, Skyridge retook the lead, and it's the score you see right now in front of you, 57-56. Falcons have the ball on their own side. 26 seconds remain on the shot clock. 2:08 left in the game. A key possession here for the home team in white. Here's Gagan left side. It's a 1-2-1 zone defense that works its way for the Knights, and it's a turnover for the Falcons. So now we hit the under 2 mark. Lone Peak trails by 1, an opportunity to take the lead. Fotheringham's got it. Gets a screen left. Now he's going to go right. It's a one-on-one, deep 2. He hits. His foot was on the line, so it's a 2, but they're back in the lead. A minute 30 now remains. Here's Gagan right side. He picks up his dribble, and another timeout will be called by Skyridge. We'll stay right here. 58-57, Lone Peak now leads. Lone Peak well over their season average of points per game. Before this contest, they only averaged just under 46 a contest. Currently, they have 58. Meanwhile, for Skyridge, they're right at where they usually are. They have 58.3 points per game heading into this one, and right now they find themselves at 57. This is an absolute masterclass of a game right now. And we should be in for what will be probably one of the closest games, if not the closest game in region play here in the regular season in 6A Utah basketball. Both student sections loud and proud as we are 127 away from a winner being named here in Lehigh. So Falcons ball on their own side, 24 seconds left on the shot clock. Gagan finds Gardner. Gardner hands off to Hunter Sheffield. Kohler's got it left side. Here's Gagan top of the key over to Hunter. 12 seconds. Gardner for another three. Yes! Joel Gardner is catching fire in clutch. They now lead by 2. A minute remains. Fotheringham's got it. He's going to pull up for 3. No good. Cogswell gets the rebound. And it's going to be off of the Falcons. It'll stay here with the Knights. These players are stepping up when it matters most. Here's Fotheringham, right side. He's going to go 1v1 with Zach. He goes up, and he misses. Ball's tipped around, controlled by Gentry. And a foul will be called against the Knights. That'll be the third team foul. Mosteller checks in for Sheffield. So you should expect Lone Peak to keep up with this full court pressure. Actually, they're going to back off. And they're going to meet him at the timeline. And Gardner will call a timeout. So 38.5 remains. 30 seconds on the shot clock. A 2-point Skyridge lead. Who will finish on top? We'll find out on the other side of this 30-second break. The cheering is at full capacity as this gym is watching a dramatic game. Falcons lead by 2. It's been a back and forth affair here in the fourth. But can Skyridge come back to regain and maintain the lead they had for almost the entire game that was lost for just a few seconds? Taken by the Knights. Falcons with the ball. And they'll find Gardner. Knights are going to pressure as soon as he crosses midcourt. They do. And it's tipped. It's stolen. Here's Mitchell. Mitchell's fouled hard by Gagan. And that'll be the first team foul. Refs will convert to see if it meets intentional criteria. Refs still conversing. This is going to be a critical call. And they're going to say it's a normal foul. So Mosteller checks out. Sheffield back in. Taylor's going to inbound. Shot clock is turned off. So here is Lone Peak with a chance to tie or take the lead. Here's Fotheringham. He goes down low. A spin move, Jay, wide open. He misses it. Kohler fights for the rebound. Cogswell somehow picks it up, and then he's fouled. So the Knights have another opportunity. This gym is stunned as Lone Peak takes a timeout. 16.5 seconds remain. Who will make the potential shot to tie or take the lead for Lone Peak? We're about to find out on the other side of this Knights timeout called by head coach Rob Ross. As I mentioned, if Skyridge gets the win, they move to 1-1 in region play, and they'll have the tiebreaker over Lone Peak. But Lone Peak is looking to stay undefeated. Currently 8-5 on the season, and starting 2-0 would be a massive result. Lone Peak coming off that win versus Pleasant Grove, as I mentioned. But before that, they lost really closely to Corner Canyon, 65-62. Both of these teams have played other teams from across the country. Lone Peak has played teams from the likes of Florida, Arizona, Colorado. Skyridge, meanwhile, has played teams from New York and California, and also teams from Southern Utah. But now they face each other in a critical region game. Lone Peak will inbound, down 2, 16.5 left on their own side. It'll be a box formation. Let's see what the Knights can come up with and who will take the shot. It's inbound to Cogswell, back to Taylor for 3. He hits! Jackson Taylor in the clutch! And Lone Peak has taken the lead. A beautifully drawn play for number 30 in black. And the Knights have regained control, 61-60. It didn't take a lot of time off the clock, though, so Skyridge will have time to come up with something, but they'll need to hit. Mosteller looks to be checking in. He was hot there in the second quarter, but has yet to make a field goal in the second half. .1 seconds are on the clock. Can Lone Peak defy the odds and come back from a 16-point deficit? So Skyridge will have to go the length of the court. Coach Gardner calls up the play. Inbound to Gardner. And another timeout called, so he wants it in the half court. So now 9.9 seconds remain. Now they'll inbound on their own side, so still plenty of time to come up with something. It's going to be a full timeout. We'll stay right here. The suspension. And everything surrounding this game is leading to this finish. Skyridge with the ball, down 1, 9.9 seconds left. Who will they go to? As I just mentioned, Mosteller was hot in the first half. Jordan Kohler, obviously a reliable key piece. He can score at all 3 levels. Joel Gardner has hit two threes in the clutch, specifically in the last few minutes, to keep this a close contest as it goes back and forth. So I'm looking at one of those 3 players to get something going. Most likely they'll try and get a 2 since anything goes. Try and get the easiest look they can. So look to number 11. Can Skyridge get it done? And here we go. Inbound comes, finds Gentry. Gentry moves left, picks up his dribble, out to Gardner for 3 in the lead. It's short. Fotheringham gets the rebound and he's fouled with just half a second left. And the Lone Peak student section is going wild. So Fotheringham will head to the line. Even if he makes both, it's still a 1-possession game. But with only a half second remaining, it'll take a prayer from Skyridge. Refs are conversing. Will they look to put more time on the clock? It looks like they added 0.2 seconds. But unfortunately, Skyridge still needs to foul because they're only at 3 team fouls. So if Lone Peak can inbound, this game will be over. And it's tipped, and that'll do it. Lone Peak has come back from 16 down and has defeated Skyridge by a final score of 61-60. Unbelievable. Jackson Taylor taking over in the clutch as the visiting cheering squad and student section comes onto the floor, but they are immediately shoved off by security. But what a way to start region play. 2-0, undefeated. You start things off with a solid win against Pleasant Grove, and then a climactic, cinematic game against Skyridge on the road. And they get the job done. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in for this wonderful edition of the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. I'm Nate Thatcher. It's Lone Peak going 2-0 in region play, defeating Skyridge on Skyridge's home floor, 61-60. We'll see you next time.